Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Jeremy here. In this video, I really want to talk about 5 things that I've learned now that my wife and I have a paid off home. It's been just over a year. I just can't believe how fast time goes. And I don't know about you, but like it just really doesn't really feel like Christmas right now. Like I can't believe I'm planning for next year, 2022. Time flies so fast. And as I was sitting here just reflecting on the past year and a half, just feeling really grateful, but also I just thought it'd be interesting to just kind of share kind of like how my mind is working and how my mindset has changed or is changing now that I just have no mortgage to like worry about, and I'm really grateful, really blessed. But I want to share this, and feel free to kind of leave a comment as I kind of dissect this and kind of go through these 5 things, and a couple of them are just not what I expected to learn, and it's just not what it seems. And so let's dive in. So the first thing I learned is that there really is an indescribable sort of just financial peace, or even just a peace that comes over you that you don't have to worry or even literally not even think about having to pay like a rent or mortgage payment, right? Because typically that was my biggest expense, right? And that's typically, a large portion of your paycheck goes towards paying that off. And I know there's property taxes and, just other bills as far as like, utilities, things like that. And I talk about in another video, but it's less than it's about $300 a month for just like those basic utilities. So I only need to make $300 to have and keep my home, I should say, right? And with this piece, I don't know, for me, I relate it back to the scripture in 1 Timothy, and it just, knowing that I can take care of my family just kind of puts a confidence in me. Also just like the fact that I'm actually doing God's will and taking care of my family. And I think it really stems deeper than that for me, honestly, because I didn't grow up with a father, grew up a single mom, 4 kids. And so, we were always renters, and there's nothing wrong with renting at all, because I think you can still reach your financial goals if you're renting. But just the fact that, we moved around quite a bit, and just to have a place that my wife and my son can come to and that nobody can take away, or having that stability for my family is really what gives me peace. And I thank God that He's helped me be able to provide that for my wife and my son. The second thing I'd say is I just don't care. I find myself caring less about the little things, or even just like what people think. I don't really care to win anybody's approval. I don't need it. I don't need a job. My wife, she's a stay-home mom, and I work on my own business. But I feel like even if I had a job, like if my boss wasn't treating me right, or the coworkers, or just wasn't the right fit, I'd just quit. I would just quit and just find something else, because I don't really care, and I don't have a reason to be there unless to make money. Like, yes, I need to make money to survive, but I don't need that much. And so it's like whatever I do has to be for a deeper reason than money, because my basic needs are already taken care of. So also I just don't care about like guac. Like I used to go to Qdoba. I used to go to Qdoba because they gave free guac instead of Chipotle. But now it's like I don't really care if I want a guac. Hey, if I want an appetizer, if I want get a fountain drink instead of water with lemon and squeeze the heck out of that lemon. You've been there too. And so, I just don't really care about those little things, because they don't really impact my life financially like they used to. And so I just really don't care, and it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling not to do something for money. Third thing that really hit me hard, and I'm still working through it, is that nothing changes unless I do. And so yes, life is easier, but I guess it's harder in a different way, mentally for me. And for example, all those things that you say you're going to do once you get out of debt, or all of those priorities that you say you're going to do, when things get better, Like, I want to put my relationships first. I want to put people first. I want to put God first. I want to, travel the world, or all those things that you say you're going to do. Now I don't have an excuse to do those things, right? So it's like, and I'm realizing now that I'm having the time, like, yes, I've made it easier for me to access and actually accomplish those things, but it still takes like the same amount of effort as if, even if I wasn't debt free. Like, it still takes the same amount of effort and work, right? So it's like, I don't just get better at something, right? In my marriage, my walk with God, like, it still takes effort every single day, intentional effort. And that was surprising to me. Like, it's like, I feel like once I have no payments or anything to worry about, I feel like you'd get up in the morning and just automatically want to do those things. No, but your flesh, your flesh naturally doesn't want to do anything hard. It wants to take the path of least resistance, right? And I just thought it would be easier to accomplish those things. But no, it's a mental game. And to lead on to kind of like the fourth thing I learned is that, like, I feel like I'm working harder because, for example, when you go to a job, or when you have a job, I had a job, and it wasn't easy to get up in the morning, but it's like, I knew I had to be at work at a certain time, and I was there for 8 hours. And so it's like, I was forced to be disciplined, but I never had the discipline that I created on my own. And so it was a bit of an illusion, because I thought I had discipline when I really didn't. When I really didn't, just being honest with you here. And so I feel like I'm working harder on myself because I have more mental space. And I mean, what else am I going to do with my time? Right? And so it's like, I have more mental space, and I can't blame that, I got to go to work tomorrow, or I'm busy with this, busy with that. I got 100 different things that are pulling me, right? So it's like, it's easy to kind of forget what's important, or get to, the hard, deep work that goes on inside of your heart and your mind, because you can always push it off because you have that excuse, like, I got to work in the morning, or this is demanding me, my time. And so it's like, I can't use that as an excuse anymore. I have to do the deep work in myself if I actually want to improve. So I feel like what I've really done is really kind of set myself up to have the time and mental capacity to really understand my own flaws. Essentially. So it's kind of like, it's a different sort of pressure, a different sort of stress, but it's good because if you can sit alone with your thoughts and work through them, then I think that you're more self-aware, and when you're more self-aware, then you're more adept to change. And so I think it's a good thing, even though it's not what I expected. And as I become more aware and I start to change, I start to realize, I guess, the responsibility and I guess the control that I actually, and the power I actually do have to change my environment. And so that's something that's big for me now, is really designing an environment that will help me and make it easier for me to improve and to change, right? So considering who I hang around, considering the things I actually do from when I wake up to when I go to bed, the things that I eat, which is still a struggle, honestly. But I mean, it's like those things, I think about those things now. I'm thinking about what I'm consuming because I have the time to, and I'm thinking about more of my environment and how that plays a role into how it's shaping me and how it's affecting me and my family. And the last thing I realized that I really didn't expect to spend any more money now that I don't have a mortgage, just because I thought I had the habits right in place where they stuck with me from paying off debt and just living frugally. I didn't really think I'd spend more, but I look at the past year, my wife and I, we have spent more on just entertainment just because, we're happy and giving more. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I do think that I still need to be intentional about tracking my expenses and allocating money here and there. And so I feel like just because I have no payments, it doesn't give me an excuse to just be frivolous in my spending. I think the biggest mentality shift for me is shifting to a have to mentality to I get to choose the life that I want. And so that shift has been happening in the past couple of years, and it's still something that I'm currently have to work on, because you can't change overnight. I hope this makes sense. If it did, please hit the like button and drop a comment if any of that resonated with you, or if you have a question. But I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and I will see you in the next video.
How helpful was that guide to kind of just get clear on just
Oh,
like where you're headed?
helpful. It was super helpful. I loved it because it helped me to do something maybe even very simple, but just to even dream and put it on, just type it down. That was that really opened my perspective. I mean, like, also watching your videos, like, oh, living this kind of life is possible.